Hey, it's Tanya and I'm here with a weekly sketch, and our theme this time is monochromatic, and I don't often do that, so this was loads of fun. And basically what I'm doing is going through my offcuts and scraps and PL cards to see what I have most of and putting them in the colour families, and I'm going to end up using yellow because I have rather a lot of yellow, and I don't scrap much with yellow. I don't actually wear yellow either. It's a colour that yellow and orange, not mad keen on either one of them really, but I think mainly because I'm a very pale person and yellow doesn't really suit my skin. It just makes me look sallow and pale and uninteresting. So there we go. Not that that has anything to do with what I'm doing here. But yes, so I'm going through my bits and pieces that I have left to see what I can bring in that has a yellow element to it, and I basically went with yellows and black and white, and I was very strict with myself, although a few little bits got on that weren't all totally just yellow or black and white or gold. Actually, I did bring in the rose gold as well. But yeah, what can I say, I had a lot of fun doing this, and yeah, there was a kind of a oopsie, but that turned out to be okay too. But we'll get there when we get there, won't we? Right now we're just staring at me going through the bits and pieces. And yes, these are still the April kits. I don't know why I said still. I mean, I've only just received them, and there were lots of exclusives in them and some really wonderful bits and pieces and fonts and elements and things. And yes, these 2x2 squares from Paige Evanson's collection. Yes, I'm starting to remember the collections now. And I did want to use that card that says when life gives you lemons, but the problem is that the subject matter of my layout, and it's just a photograph. Well, it was that photograph, and then I changed my mind because this is just not working. But the when life gives you lemons didn't really fit with what I was going with, so I take it away in the end. And I was going to go with that because I think it's so funny, the fact that they are mimicking each other, and it was totally unintentional. They have the same pose going on, and I was going to go with 2 peas in a pod or something like that. But because of the way they angled in that photograph and the way I was doing my design, it just wasn't working, so I changed it up to this one, and it was much better and much happier and much easier to scrapbook. So there's an idea, if it's not working for you, change something up, whether it's your elements or your photograph or your background paper or anything. If it's not working, take a breather, come back and try again, which is exactly what I did. And yes, so now I've just got my scraps and things, and I'm putting them behind in layers and getting whatever I can on that is yellow or white or black. Master of the obvious, that's me. And yeah, these are super cute. They're little leaves, and I think they might have come from the Pinkfish Studio chipboard accents that we got. I think it might have come from there. And yeah, I basically took bits from everything that we had, because we received die cuts from Pink Paisley. No. Yes. And these flowers that are super dimensional, but that's okay. You can split them up and take some of those pop dots off, and you've got like 3 flowers in one little element. Super economizing there. And yeah, that also doesn't really go with the theme, but I liked the text, the typewriter font of it, and so I put it on there. It says something about procrastination, which actually is kind of true. They do procrastinate sometimes, as do I. Rather put off today what you can do tomorrow, or however the saying goes. And yeah, these are exclusives as well. As I said, we got so many exclusives. These beautiful alphas in a scripty or brush font. That's something I want to try and get into. I just don't know whether I have the discipline is brush lettering. Yeah, it looks beautiful and I admire it so much, but I believe it takes a lot of practice, and that's where I'm not so sure that I am disciplined enough to do the practice. I want to be able to do it right away, you know. I want to be able to sit down with a Tombow brush pen and just be able to do beautiful lettering straight away. It's a bit like my watercolouring, actually. I wanted to be able to sit down and watercolour a masterpiece, and yeah, that doesn't happen. But here I go, I'm getting all the fonts on here. I've got the white one, I've got the beautiful ombre one, and then I got Chamel's little block letters on. And yeah, then I figured, let me bring out my little heart punch and punch some hearts, because I needed a few more elements. I was running out of yellow elements. I know it seems a bit strange, but I was. And this is where I make a bit of a boo-boo. Because, okay, this didn't work. That's a Micron pen. And no, that didn't work. It looked terrible. I evidently can't draw hearts. And then I get a Sharpie, and I'm not very Sharpie wise. And I'm sure people who know Sharpies will realize what goes wrong when I did that. Yeah, you can't really see it, or maybe you can, but I now have several black dots on my background paper where I outline those hearts, because Sharpies apparently go through everything. And so I've learnt that. I mean, I only have like one Sharpie, so it's not like I've had a whole heap of experience with them. And it's bugging me a lot, because I've got all these black friggin' dots on my background paper. I did think I could cheat, and you know, and when I took the photographs I could edit out the black dots, but it's that A, that's cheating, and I don't like cheating, and B, it's bothering me because I really love this layout, and I don't want those black spots on my background paper. So now I'm thinking the finger wagging is going, because I'm thinking, and I try everything imaginable. What's nice about, just as a little side note, what's nice about these exclusive alphas is Kimberly has included on a whole bunch of extra little bits like butterflies and asterisks and stars and things. So I've been putting butterflies on everything. It's been just fantastic. So yeah, so there I've got this weird looking cluster, and that's not working, obviously. And I when I cluster things like that, it takes me an awfully long time to get them into the position that I believe they should be, and that looks good. So yeah, so now and isn't this the most ironic thing out there? I then get those beautiful gold heart outlines and outline the blimmin' things and that, so I didn't have to do the Sharpie thing in the first place. But I didn't know that. My hindsight was 2020. I should have had a crystal ball to see what I was going to do. And I do like my... Oh, okay. I was just going to say I do like the photo thingies that I got on. But this is more exciting because I worked out how to save the day. I got that little house, and then I put that, what are those things called? You know, when they do the movies and they go, action. Anyway, I don't know what they're called. So I manipulated that a bit and got that on there. And I'm thinking, what can I put on there? And I think, oh, the EXO is just perfect because I've got the gold hearts, and I'm going very, very quickly with this because I was super excited about what I was doing. And yeah, so I covered up most of those black spots with that house, and I think actually it was serendipitous, as I do love to say so many times, but it was, because if I hadn't made those little black blotches there, I would never have thought to put the house there. And I like the way the house goes there. And there we're getting, putting my photo corners on there, that's what they're called. So yeah, and I like the addition of the photo corners, and they're not brightly coloured enough to take away from the monochromatic tone of this at all. And yeah, so I was so super chuffed with that house. It was very much this design, and I'm showing you there that I just covered an arrow with some yellow because I needed some more elements on there, and I didn't have an arrow, so I just manipulated a little bit of my elements. And yeah, I was going to say, this is not a design which is something that I do at all, really. And so I was over the moon when it turned out so well. And now you're going to watch me do white things. This goes on for a very long time. I'm trying to decide where to put them, and then I get too many on, and I take some off, and then I put more on, and oh dear, I eventually get it into a configuration that works for me. But yeah, you're going to see a little bit of it going on here. So anyway, I'm going to take the opportunity to thank you very, very much for watching this, and for all the likes and comments that I get. They always make me feel so wonderful. And yes, come check out the Hip Kit Club Facebook forum, where we've got the weekly sketch going, and you can win a $10 coupon code if you participate. So thanks for watching, and we'll chat again soon. Bye bye.